We are back with another special. We're passing it over to our current resident football manager pro. It's another football manager special, so pass it over to Greg.
Yes, you engaged with our football manager video a lot the last time, so we thought we'd give another one a go. Now, I don't know about you two, but I am completely fed up of hearing Rangers and Celtic would never make it in the Premier League. Scottish teams are rubbish. They never last 2 seconds, especially recently, given Aston Villa versus Hibs and some other results that have gone that way. So we decided that we would find out. So what I've done, I've took it's Football Manager 23 still, so it is the season from 22-23. So what I've done is I took the relegated teams from 22-23 and replaced them with the teams from the Scottish leagues. So, for example, Celtic, Rangers, and Aberdeen finished first, second, and third in the Premiership last year. So they replaced the 3 relegated Premier League teams, and so on until we get Ross County and relegated Dundee United replacing Hartlepool and Rochdale in the League Two. So we're going to see how they get on. We're going to have the timeline of 20 years again. We're going to stop at various intervals and see exactly what's going on. The other thing, there is the 12 teams have been swapped. So there are some teams up in Scotland, and we're going to see how they get on too, bearing in mind that they are basically the current Premiership now. So their challengers will be currently in the Championship. So let's go to the first year and see what is going on. But before we do that, how do you think we'll get on? Robert, you're a big Rangers fan. How do you think Rangers will get on?
Yes. I'd like to say that they'll do very well, but it will be interesting to say the least.
It will be interesting. Kyle, how do you think the big Glasgow 2 will get on?
I think Celtic, to start with, will fare a lot better than Rangers. Might change as time goes on, but I think Celtic will fare better.
A couple of questions. After 20 seasons, who do you think will be the Scottish team who is highest in the English pyramid? So if there's multiple teams in the Premier League, the one that finished furthest up table.
As of the 20th season?
As of the 20th season.
I think Rangers, like Kyle said, they'll probably not do as well to start off, and then they'll soar up a wee bit more.
I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say Hearts.
You're going to say Hearts. And what about the lowest?
Out of the 12.
Yeah.
Ross County.
Livingston.
Ross County and Livingston.
So so you can't put a guess in because you'd not be cheating.
I've done the same, and I had a wee look just to see how things were getting on and to see if things were interesting, which I can say they're very interesting. Last time, obviously, Robert, you had the agony of Rangers finishing 4th in our reconstructed Scottish League. So we'll see how they get on this time.
We did get to meet Johnny the American. So
we did get to meet Johnny the American. Let's see if there's a new Johnny American this time, and let's go.
Wait. I think Aberdeen are going to do quite well.
Well, they're in the Premier League to start first season. How many points do you think they'll get in the Premier League first season? Bear in mind, 40 is about the standard to stay up.
39.
I don't think they'll start that well, but I think they'll come good. Let's go 20.
Will they stay up? 20 is definitely last place.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to do that well to start off with. No, to be fair, compared to the other one, I don't know. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
Let's get into it. Right, here we go. Season number 1. So here we are. Manager 3 Pints is back, and we can see that Erik ten Hag has been sacked by Manchester United by June 2023, which didn't happen in real life. We can also see that Damien Duff's role as manager of Aberdeen is insecure, and Michael Beale's job at Rangers is insecure, so that's not a good start.
I noticed there Lee Johnson as well. There's a shock.
Lee Johnson for Hibs as well. And Pep Guardiola for Man City. His job is insecure. So let's see what's been happening in the English Premier Division. There we go then. So Alexander Mitrovic, top scorer, but that's not what we're looking at first. Let's look at those 6 points for Aberdeen.
Well,
a new Premier League low.
I said 39 bloody points.
You did say 39 points. 6 for Aberdeen. That one win was a 2-1 win at home to 15th place Brentford. And 3 draws against Rangers, Bournemouth and Brighton, all of whom are the next 3 teams above them.
That's some
Rangers,
from Brighton to Aberdeen.
It really is. Rangers, 4 wins for them, 21 points. It's not been a good season.
That's bogging.
Aberdeen, West Ham, Bournemouth, and Fulham, all bottom half teams. And there's an Old Firm draw there, so at least you didn't get beaten both Old Firms.
True, I forgot the long way too.
Celtic, of course, finishing in 12th place there. Also to note, Newcastle making the Champions League like they did in real life, and Liverpool winning the league, losing only 3 games, winning by a point. Did they win it on the last day of the season?
They beat
no, Man City won as well, so they didn't win on the last day of the season. Well, they would have done, but they just didn't lose it on the last day of the season. Championship. And there goes another Scottish team down the way.
High Bees.
St Mirren hanging on.
The big High Bees. St Mirren hanging on goals scored from the looks of it, because they're both a minus 24 goal difference. And Hearts, the other team in there, finishing quite a respectable 14th. Championship's a tough league.
Definitely.
And the Norwich, West Brom, and Watford going up there.
Sounds about right.
League One has Motherwell, Livingston, and St Johnstone in it. Not for much longer. Kilmarnock going one way, relegated on goal difference in 21st, and Motherwell finishing second, which is fantastic for them.
I was scrolling the bottom of the screen and I was like, where are they? Done well.
Yeah, they have. They've done very well.
Jeez.
Liam Kelly with 21 clean sheets.
That is fantastic. Fantastic for Liam Kelly. 7 Man of the Match awards as well, actually, for Liam Kelly. He's been an absolute rock in that Motherwell team. Livingston, of course, the other team in there as well. They finished 9th, and St Johnstone, who finished 14th, which isn't too bad.
Jeez.
League Two, we can see the title holders are Ross County. They've won it by 3 points.
Good on them.
So Kilmarnock going down and Ross County going up. Dundee United missing out in the playoffs there after finishing 4th. And they are the only 2 teams in that league. So they've both done quite well. We can say the Scottish teams are at least better than League Two.
Yeah, Jan Danda.
Jan Danda's got the most assists.
Jan Danda with the assists. Jan Danda, a fantastic English player there whose attributes we can't see because they're outside the scouting scope because we're unemployed.
Terrible.
Yes. If we go into the Scottish Premiership, which Wigan will be in, we will see that it's Southampton who are champions by 3 points. Leicester throwing it away on the final day.
Oof.
Drawing 2-2 with Blackpool, while Southampton win 3-0 over Forest Green, who managed to finish in the top 6 somehow. Wigan underperforming quite badly in 9th, and Rochdale going down by the single goal on goal difference.
Terrible.
Will we have a look in League One just to look at the Mighty Queens? Who's going up to replace them? We've got Inverness on goal difference from Arbroath going up, Partick going down, and League One is Kelty Hearts.
I thought we were going to do it.
Queens finishing second with 62 points. Rory Payton, top scorer there, and Jace Cabia with 10 assists. So that is kind of how we've got on first season. What do we think, boys? Disappointed for Rangers?
I thought we'd done better than that.
It wasn't a shock. It wasn't a shock, let's be honest.
It wasn't a shock. If we go on to selection info, you can look at Rangers there, Robert.
I need to move you.
10
on
goals.
the side of my screen.
10 goals for Alfredo Morelos, top scorer, and 6 for Antonio Cholak. Ryan Kent with 5.
Strikers.
Not great stats for the Premier League, that, no. So let's pause there and move on to another 2 seasons, to the summer of 2025. Oh, it's 2025. And Rangers job's available, Robert. Do you want it?
Yes, I've just finished my application now.
Some bad news for you. They're still in the Championship.
No, I did see that. Don't want to
I also
spoil it
see Maurizio Pochettino, whose job is insecure at Bournemouth.
Is that Kenny Miller?
Kenny Miller.
And Kenneth Miller at Cove Rangers. So if
Joey
we,
Barton at Sutton.
yeah, Joey Barton at Sutton. If we go into the Premier Division, we can see that this season it is Manchester City who've won the title. Celtic finishing a respectable 9th.
Only Scottish team left.
They're the only Scottish team left.
Christ.
So if we look at the season before, obviously no Scottish teams came up. Celtic finished 14th. So solid from them. Norwich, Watford and West Brom going back down, the 3 promoted teams.
Money's starting to kick in.
Yeah, this season, Burnley, Sheffield United and Bournemouth, the ones going down. Celtic finishing a respectable 9th, I would say.
They're taking that Stoke role quite nicely.
They are taking the Stoke role quite nicely, but that means it'll come to an end quite soon if it's the actual Stoke role.
Oh,
Let's hope so.
15 seasons.
Yes, you'd think so. Into the Championship. And where are Rangers? 10th.
Imagine my shock.
10th and below Hearts.
Exactly.
That is an absolute shocker for Rangers and below the mighty Cardiff. Stoke and QPR got up, Luton promoted through the playoffs. Any other Scottish teams there? Motherwell on a solid 13th, finishing only 3 points behind Rangers.
There's a name.
That's about it.
Garang Cool, top scorer.
The Newcastle youngster, yes. Josh Sargent still playing, and Alan Campbell with 16 assists, the Scotland qualified man. We can see that Sheffield United were the season before, they were the winners. So if we go back, we can see that the previous season, it's not good for Aberdeen. That's 2 relegations on the bounce. They finished bottom as well of the Championship in the second season, with St Mirren going straight back down as well.
Hearts finishing above Rangers again.
Hearts finishing above Rangers again, and in the playoffs.
That's clear.
It really is. League One. There we go. That's this season's League One. So Aberdeen coming back up. We've got Hibs there in a solid 9th place. Ross County and Livingston still kicking about there in 13th and 15th. Dundee United in 17th and St Mirren in 18th. So kind of all congregated in this general League One area. Birmingham having an absolute nightmare going down into League Two.
So from what I'm seeing already, there's quite a divide in the abilities in these Scottish teams.
Yes, it seems to be Celtic, everyone else.
Celtic then kind of Rangers, Hearts, then the rest.
Yeah. Aberdeen going back up though, and Motherwell doing pretty solidly in the Championship. League Two, we can see St Johnstone going straight back up.
Yeah.
Well,
and I can't see Kilmarnock.
No, they must have got relegated the season prior.
Who were relegated the season prior by a point. Dundee United promoted. So if we go into the National League, are Kilmarnock going back up? No, they're not. They finished 5th.
What's sore?
That is poor from Kilmarnock. It is a playoff spot, but it's the weird semi-final playoff spot in the National League, isn't it?
I don't know. What's
quarter-final ones. Yeah, 2nd and 3rd get semi-finals. 4th to 7th get quarter-finals. It's not going too well for Kelly, is it? But at least
getting second and Southend getting second and not going up.
I know, that's awful from them. That's 3 years in. We'll skip forward now to 5 years in. Back we come again. 5 years on, June 2027, and Craig Levein and Charlie Mulgrew are on the verge of the sack at Forest Green and Kelty Hearts, respectively. Not much else going on, shall we see. Scotland have coasted past Astoria in the European qualifier.
Pedri shines.
But let's look at the leagues in focus then. So we can see after Liverpool winning the title in the first year, we've had some Manchester City dominance. Middlesbrough not quite beating Aberdeen's record of 6 points, but a poor season for Hearts and Motherwell.
Celtic player.
Still teetering there in 9th.
Celtic still in 9th, missing out in Europe.
3rd top scorer as well.
Matisse Tail, the Bayern Munich youngster. No Rangers, Robert.
Still.
If we flick back to the previous season, let's see if they were there. Nope, they've not even been there. Celtic in 11th. And the season before that, of course, the first season where Celtic finished 9th. Into the Championship, we have QPR champions and Rangers are 6th. So in the
Only
playoff,
climbing, but
No Hearts though,
they're above.
Hearts got relegated from the Premier League,
didn't it? So they did.
along with Motherwell, Aberdeen in 9th, Hibs there as well in 17th. Overall, kind of solidifying their position in the Championship, Aberdeen and Hibs.
Yeah.
And
third most clean
Fred-
sheets.
Yeah, Fred
Peter Galachi.
Ikanga. Oh yeah, Peter Galachi at Rangers.
Blimey.
And this man from Aberdeen also getting plenty of clean sheets. Fred Ikanga from Hibernian, their right midfielder on loan from Marseille, with 7 Player of the Match awards.
Big Fred.
League One, we've got Matt Jacobs from St Johnstone as second top scorer, and St Johnstone
Nothing going up.
second in the league going up, and St Mirren unlucky to lose out in the playoff final to Peterborough.
Ross County weren't too bad in 7th.
Ross County doing okay in 7th. Dundee United doing okay in 10th. Livingston in 13th.
Matt Jacobs, second top scorer for St Johnstone. 17.
Yes. Where's
Reece-
he came from then?
Reece Williams as well. Second most player of the matches.
A Wolves youngster for
Go
Matt
back a minute.
Jacobs.
See that St Johnstone boy average rating? Was that not the boy at Rangers? Am I wrong here? Mind he was the
Where am I
right back.
looking?
Third in the average rating.
Third in average rating.
Was he not the boy?
He
at
was at
for a bit?
Rangers, yes.
He couldn't get into the Tavernier.
Ah,
So it was Wes Fodringham's at Ross County.
yes, he is. West Fordingham at Ross County in League One, finishing
League
7th.
One Wes.
Hibernian champions year before. Well into them. Ross County losing out in the playoff final the year before. But yes, Hibs going up as champions, and some more just kind of solid League One results for Dundee United, Livingston, and St Mirren.
Again, just shows that Scottish football is just League One at best.
It is, but that's not fundamentally. It's not awful, is it?
No.
League Two, are Kilmarnock back yet?
No.
They're not.
There's no Scottish team, is there?
I can't see any Scottish teams at all. Kilmarnock, on the other hand, Southend winning the title by a country mile as well, by 8 points, and Kilmarnock losing out in the playoffs again. They are currently the lowest ranked Scottish team.
I've not seen Dundee United for a while, but I guess they're in League One. I wasn't. Yeah,
I
they were
think they were in League One. Yes, they finished 10th.
forgetting.
What I will do very quickly for Robert is look at over 5 seasons how have Rangers done. There you go. So relegated from the Premiership and then kind of a general decline in the Championship, actually. Brian Barry Murphy, currently the manager. We can look at the Rangers managerial history, and they've already got rid of 3. They've got rid of Michael Beale, Bruno Lage, and Mitchell van der Gaag, who previously at Blackburn and currently Eric Ten Hag's assistant at Manchester United. Brian Barry Murphy, previously Man City under-21s manager, the man taking at Rangers at the helm at the minute.
Disgusting.
If we look at the other half of Glasgow, Celtic still have Big Ange in charge.
And McGregor.
And still McGregor, Mattis Tail, Matt O'Reilly, Leo Labada, some kind of consistency at Celtic actually, and some kind of fluctuating Premier League results, kind of mid-table. Shall we look in the Scottish League?
Aye.
Let's look at the Premiership. Oh, look at that. 1 year of Southampton title.
I saw Queens and I was like, oh, they got relegated.
1 year of a Southampton title, 4 Leeds United titles, but as you say, a poor result for Queen of the South as they have been relegated. But due
That's
to
Park.
Dundee finishing 10th but still getting Europe.
Yeah, that's so all Scottish teams getting Europe. That's an issue with the game that I've
Ah.
somehow not managed to solve. So all Scottish teams will get Europe. It means Celtic and Rangers, no matter how far up, and any other Scottish teams, no matter how far up they finish, can't get Europe.
Sorry.
That's fine. Queen's losing out in the playoff final to Wraith.
Bloody Wraith, I'm sick of them.
The season before, it was just a single season for Queens. MK Dons relegated the season before. If we go into the championship, we can see it was Accrington promoted this year, and MK Dons, Hartlepool, and Rochdale all kicking about in the championship.
Are any of them in League One? No.
Are any of them in League One?
Just curiosity killed the cat and all
No.
that.
So that's that at the minute. That is 5 years' time. We're going to jump forward by 5 years again and see if Rangers have managed to get in the Premier League in 10 years' time. Here we go. 2032, 10 years on, and the Celtic job is available.
Oh, is that Barry Ferguson at Alloa again?
No,
it's Brown Ferguson.
I've never heard of him.
Nope, neither have I.
Can it be Stenny, I'm sure.
Yes, Stenny assistant manager. FC Edinburgh assistant manager, a former scout at Arbroath and a manager of Linlithgow Rose.
Rangers youth coach,
He was. Celtic jobs available.
Where's Angela?
Aberdeen are back in the Premier League and Celtic have been relegated. I'll tell you who haven't though. Motherwell.
Good old Motherwell.
Motherwell finishing in 39 points in a comfortable 16th.
Interestingly, Leo Labada has the most player of the second most player of the matches.
Yes,
despite getting relegated.
He must have carried that team
to 10 wins.
After the Man City dominance, the past 5 years we've had Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Man City again, and Fulham qualifying for the Champions League in 5th place as well.
They're doing well. Liverpool been quite consistent as well.
They have some odd things going on, especially Motherwell. Celtic. Shall we see if it was Ange who got them relegated? It wasn't. It was Scott Brown.
Big Diddy.
Celtic hero Scott Brown gets them relegated from the Premier League.
Eddie
Howe also there for 3 years, winning a cup. They won the FA Cup. I see Ange. That was his existing titles at Celtic. So just the single cup. So it's an FA Cup win for Celtic. Into the Championship, which is where Celtic are going. And Rangers are still there in 18th. St Mirren, on the other hand, have been promoted with 86 points. And Hearts in 8th place with the top goal scorer in the league, Will Lancashire, formerly of Coventry and Peterborough, and Tottenham and Arsenal, the top scorer in the Championship. So St Mirren going up automatically, Hearts in 8th, Rangers in 18th, Hibs in 20th, and Ross County sadly being relegated. How have Rangers got on over the last 5 years? I mean, that tells you all the story, doesn't it?
Carney Chuck Waymer, that boy for...
Oh, yeah.
What's he?
Who's somehow declared for Austria. Apparently. Okay. Jack Rice has the most player of the matches for Rangers. Is that...
a Decky Rice rejoin.
Declan Rice's son. So yes, Ross County, Hibs down at the bottom with Rangers, unfortunately. League One, we've had some Scottish winners there. We can see last 5 seasons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. St Mirren winning it and Ross County winning it. St Mirren obviously going on to bigger things in the Premier League. Is there anyone kicking about here at the minute? Livingston kicking about in 14th.
St Johnstone.
And St Johnstone in 16th, yeah.
Cardiff went up though. That's good. Good to see
Cardiff did go up. Nice to see them. Sad to see them in League One.
Matt Jacobs again. Who was he at again? Top scorer.
Matt Jacobs, formerly of Hearts.
What was it? His name. And St Johnstone.
And St Johnstone we must have seen him at, because he only scored 2 goals for Hearts. I think he was top scorer somewhere for St Johnstone. Have Kilmarnock made it back to League Two in 5 years?
Preston. Dundee United going up. Cool.
Dundee United going up,
Only team left in there.
but they are the only team left in there. Kilmarnock still down there. They're going up this time. They've won the playoff final.
Worried sick about them.
They've still got their act together.
They've got their act together. Josh Vela as manager.
Christ.
Former Bolton Wanderers player.
Herbie Kane as well. He's ex-Liverpool.
Yes, there you go. Vice captain at the ripe old age of 33. What was I going to do? I was going to check Kilmarnock's history. No, they've not managed to go up. They managed to finish second in 1 year and not go up. But it's been not too good a story for Kilmarnock. On the other story, let's see what's going on in Scotland. Queen of the South, once again, not making it in the playoff final, losing out to Accrington and not managing to go up.
It's a bit of a Leeds domination as well.
We have seen Leeds domination, so we've had in the last since we started, so Southampton in 10 years, we've had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Leeds titles. We've had 2 Readings and a Southampton.
Unexpected.
Reading winning the title by a whole 14 points. With Tidys Campbell up front.
Ex-Stoke.
And ex-Hearts in this game, actually, as well. Leicester and Leeds. Dundee doing quite well in 4th there, and Inverness in 5th. Southampton dropping off a bit in 8th. 9th, rather. And Morecambe with the 1 win, 2-0 away at Wigan.
15 draws, but...
And 15 draws.
Not as much as MK Dons with 19 draws.
19 draws. At least they've got a 2-2 in there somewhere. Morecambe just had 1-1s. Championship, obviously, Queen's finishing second by a whole 20 points to Queen's Park. And Cove going down the way. Forest Green there and Rochdale. I've not seen Hartlepool yet. They must be further down.
Before you move, there's 2 Queen's wins for the Cups. They've been up and down again.
Oh, yes. We've had Queen's obviously winning the title previously, and then Queen's winning again in 28-29. Let's have a look. Michael McKenna as manager. Marvin Bartley, icon.
Good.
Love that. So yeah, we can see 2 promotions followed immediately by 2 relegations, 1 rock bottom and 1 in 11th. If we look at the Queen's managers, Marvin Bartley left. Where did he take over at? Preston, and now he's at Dundee United.
Snake.
Stephen Presley, manager for 165 days and sacked.
Callahan. He was just caretaker.
Yes. Connor Ripley, former player at Wigan, Morecambe and others. And currently managed by Michael McKenna, who is a former player or a current player for Arbroath. So not doing too badly, Queens. Better than the last save we had them on. And into League One. Hartlepool are there in their 8th. They're not doing too well, Hartlepool. So it's good to see some English teams struggling in the Scottish leagues as well. But that's been 10 years. Hartlepool, obviously, there's a win, so up and back down. Let's take another 10 years forward. Are you still confident with your prediction that Rangers are going to be the top-ranked Scottish side after 20 years, Robert?
No.
No. Kyle, what about you with Hearts?
I stand by it.
You stand by it. Let's go. So, it's 2042. It's 20 years on, and Holland have won the World Cup with a 2-0 win over Belgium at Wembley. We can see that England won the World Cup in 2038. Boo. And not too much happening there. We can see anything interesting happening on the managerial front. It's all international managerial jobs that are available. So let's go into the leagues in focus and look at the English Premier League. Rangers are in the Premier League.
Oh, thank God, but we're aye.
Sorry,
I just realised it's start of the season, so it's fine. Right, I'll take that.
More shockingly, Tottenham have won a Premier League title.
Oh, jeez. It is a simulation.
It really must be a simulation. Motherwell still in the Premier League as well, and Celtic. So after 20 years, we've got Celtic, Motherwell, and Rangers. If we look at last season, Rangers promoted just for you, Robert. Not there. Rotherham somehow in the Premier League for a season and relegated. And so you're both wrong. It wasn't Hearts or Rangers who were the top ranked Scottish team at the end of 20 seasons. It was Motherwell in 9th place. Let's see how they've been getting on then. Motherwell with Matthias Almeida, former San Jose and Ike Athens manager at the helm, and has been now for 15 years.
Well, he's doing well.
Playing in the same kit though.
They are still playing in the same kit. So yeah, how have Motherwell got on? I mean, that tells you all you need to know, really. They've been a fix. They've had, in 20 years, they've had 2 promotions and a relegation. That's fantastic. Motherwell showing that with the Premier League money, anything is possible. Lovely continental reputation. Owner loves the club. 20,000 season ticket holders. So I wonder if they have a new stadium. They've got the Ian St John Stadium. Does anyone know who Ian St John is?
No.
No. He is a legend as player and manager. He must be much older than our time. We apologise, Motherwell fans, for not knowing who Ian St John is. And that is that for Motherwell. So if we look at the next ranked Scottish team, which is Celtic, we've got Daniel Sousa in charge. And Celtic have been down once and straight back up, but otherwise been in the Premiership the whole time. Not too bad for them. Kind of some highlights of finishing 10th, and 2 years they finished 9th, but not really breaking. And Motherwell probably perhaps had a better 20 years than them.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's steady for Celtic, that's the issue.
It has been steady for Celtic. Still at Celtic Park, manager-wise, many. So we've
Mikey
had
Carrick.
Roberto De Zerbi, George Honeyman, who played in lower league England for a while, at Hull and Millwall.
Michael Carrick, did I see?
And Michael Carrick, who I believe resigned to take the England job and was just sacked.
Lol.
Lol at that. Celtic not doing too badly on the whole. Any cup wins? After the cup win for Eddie Howe, we've got an FA Cup win for George Honeyman as manager as well.
They get Rangers never won any cups.
Let's have a look. Well, they're not in the Premier League, so I'll have to... Oh, no, they are. They are now. Luke O'Neill, their manager, formerly...
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yes, and second spell in charge as well. Rangers. There you go. Mostly in the Championship. Only the 2 promotions over the 20 years. One followed by a swift relegation, bottom of the league. And it was actually a playoff win to put you up last season. But it's nice to see them finish in the Premier League where they started. Predicted to finish bottom again, and I think they are still at Ibrox. Yes, they are. Down into the Championship to look at the other Scottish teams. Aberdeen in the Championship with a nice regen as manager.
Can they kick a jelly bean yet? That's what I want to know.
Still at Pittodrie. How have they got on? Again, another single season in the Premier League and another season in League One. There, where they finished rock bottom of the Championship. Not too bad for them. I don't think they've won any cups, have they? They've won the Papa John's Trophy.
Did we see Rangers won it?
I'll quickly look.
Sorry, because I asked and then I can't remember if we actually looked or not because I got distracted.
Yes, we did. By Luke O'Neill. No, Rangers have won absolutely nothing.
Well, that's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm.
You wanted to confirm your worst fears.
Steve Cooper.
Oh, yeah, Steve Cooper. We never looked at the Rangers managers. We've had, we've had a really long list. So we've had him, Quanvey, Billy Dodds
Johnny-
for
Johnny
250 days. Johnny Jackson, who, currently kicks about for Wimbledon as manager.
He was a
English
Six Jackson
Johnny.
brother.
We've had Luke O'Neill, Steve Cooper for 330 days. Matt Taylor.
I don't know how he used to play for West Ham or something.
No, it must be a different Matt Taylor. And Luke O'Neill again. So we've done Aberdeen.
Get enough.
Into Hearts. Hearts with a South African in charge, still at Tynecastle. Hearts have had 3 seasons in the Premier League, so about the same as Rangers. And I don't think they've done too much. They're in the process of a board takeover. They're in debt, but kicking along not too badly. With Robbie Nielsen, Stephen Naismith, Knutson from Bodo Glimt, Alex Smithies as manager, Paul Hartley never failing to fall upwards, and Ryan Alsop, current Cardiff City goalkeeper.
They've won a few leagues as well.
They have. They've won
Either championships or League One.
Championship twice, yeah. Championship twice. Who else have we got in the Championship? We've got Ross County 16th. They're at Michael Gardine Park. Built in 2027. Jack Clark is manager. That is so bad.
It's funny though.
They've been a League One Championship yo-yo team, haven't they? They had a really good season in the Championship in 10th.
They're on the rise though.
They're just kind of a Championship yo-yo team.
I was really hoping Rangers would play at the Umar Sadiq Stadium or something.
The Ali McCoist Arena. The Barry Ferguson Battleground.
Get carried away now. Keep going.
St Mirren, just play at St Mirren Stadium. It's not St Mirren Park, it's different. Managed by again or Regen. How have they got on? They've just kicked about in the Championship for quite a while. A brief foray into the Premier League, as we've seen, where they predictably finished bottom. And just a nice wee trip in the Championship for St Mirren. That's all of them in League One. So I think, is that us up to 1, 2, 3, 4? So that's up to 7? Yeah, 7. So 5 to go. Dundee United, kicking about in League One. Billy Sharp as manager, Sheffield United legend. They're still at Tannadice. And what have they done? Kicked about League One, single season in the Championship. A couple in League Two and gone straight back up. So again, just kicking about the Championship. Not the Championship, kicking about League One. Who's next? Hibs. Still at Easter Road. Macaulay Rasmussen as manager. How many times has David Gray been caretaker now? Not very many, but I've just noticed the words Ralph Hasenhuttl.
Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh, who won a League One with Hibs.
Mark Van Bommel.
Darren Moore and Mark Van Bommel. Iraola as well.
Billy Sharp's been there for a bit as well.
He was there for a year and then got sacked. Ruben Selles, who relegated Southampton. Alex Pearce, is that not played for Millwall and Bristol City? Didier Deegard, who I also know from somewhere. That is repeated. Apparently, I know him from playing for Nice. Yes. And Macaulay Rasmussen, who's joined 37 days ago. Who is next on the list? Kilmarnock, back in League One. So they've actually ended up back where they started after their wee foray in the National League. They play at Frank Beattie Park.
He's even a legend.
He is a legend, yeah. So that's how the game will pick. The game will pick a legend and name it after. I would have preferred the Steve Clark Stadium.
The Danny Invincible Arena.
I hope that Queen's is named after Dougie the Dunhammer.
We'll have a look. The Marvin Bartley Stadium. Yes, so they kicked him out of the National League for a while, up into League Two, back down again, and then are back into League Two and got promoted last season. Kilmarnock, so that's 10. So we're still looking for Livingston and someone else. Is it St Johnstone, the other team we're looking for?
Yeah, I know we're talking about St Johnstone. Yeah.
Yes, there they both are. So they're not in the National League. They're kicking about in League Two. We've got Livingston in 13th with Ben Cornish as manager. They're still at the Tony. It's good to see the Spaghetti had still going strong in 2042.
Cornish.
Yes, Ben Cornish as manager. Livy started in League One, kind of declined to League Two. They've had a season in the National League as well and went straight back up, and are now back in the League Two. And lastly, St Johnstone, lowest ranked Scottish side, with River Ritchie as manager. They're still at McDermott Park.
Wait,
And
go back that one. So I was just looking at their icons.
Stevie May, Jason Scotland, Sean Rooney, Owen Coyle,
Bloody hell.
Callum Davidson.
Man.
Yes, let's look at them. League One, up into the Championship for a bit, down into League Two, and they're kind of on the decline at the minute into League Two. Managers, anyone we know?
That's it, man.
Gus McPherson.
Gavin Strachan, Gus McPherson, caretaker. Callum Davidson again.
Carlo Cudicini.
Herman Hariderson, formerly of Reading QPR. Was it Reading and QPR?
I'm unsure.
No, none of those teams. Formerly of Portsmouth.
Coventry.
Coventry and Charlton. Josh Vela, as we know, and River Ritchie. So that's them. And that is all the Scottish teams. I was quickly going to have a quick look, because it's likely to be Celtic, if they've got a transfer record. So we have transfers. Highest transfer fee paid, so they've been paying about 40 million a year in the Premier League. Ridvan Yilmaz and Jared Bowen. £33 million for Charlie Patino. And if we look at transfer fee received, we've got Tony Ralston for £3 million to Burnley. We've got Matisse Tail sold for a massive profit. Rhian Brewster.
Charlie Patino went to Everton.
Yeah, they made about £1 million on him. Leo Labada stayed to 2032-33. He's been at Celtic for 10 years and then left for 45 million. And then, just to show balance to the sides of Glasgow, let's look at Rangers transfers. Highest transfer fee received, 2 million for Cholak, 17 million for Yilmaz, 20 million for Morelos. Then Ian Matson and Lewis Hall. And that's all I can see of people I know.
Yeah.
Highest transfer fee paid. They got Otara from Bournemouth, Philip Billing for 4 million. Again, they've been in the Championship. They've not spent a ton of money, have they?
Yeah.
And the last one in the Premier League is Motherwell.
If they've been doing all right in the Premier League, they should have.
They have been.
So
they paid.
Murray Gray.
60 million for Reece Norrington Davis. Demarai Gray and Sam Greenwood. Alfie Devine from West Ham. 27 million. And they paid 41 million for this guy, Jorge Tamara, who is now a free agent at 35. And 109 appearances, 2 goals from left wing. For a left winger, scoring 62 goals and 59 appearances is a bit poor.
I'd say so.
I mean, they bought him for 6.5 million, so Motherwell lost 35 million on him.
Unless they played with shoes tied together.
Have they received a lot of money? 65 million for this guy, who's now at Inter.
There's that Chiquinho for Wolves as well.
Yes, £2 million. They also made 59 million on this man, Zanet Kuzma to Barcelona. So where did they buy him off? Reading, and then Motherwell, and then Barcelona. Again, for someone who's a winger, not amazing goal stats. Lastly, let's just see what Scottish football's like with the other teams there. Where are we going? Anyone see Scottish Premiership? Tell me. Apparently not. We'll have to go this way. So, after periods of Leeds dominance, Reading took over a bit.
Just a wee bit.
With a ridiculous amount of titles. I think it's 11 titles in 20 years. We've got... Oh, God, it better not be 10. 1, 2, 3... 5, 6, 7, 8. I've left them on 9 in a row. When this comes out, I'll sim it another year, and then I'll put in the comments if they've got 10 in a row. We might make that our poll. Will Reading get 10 in a row? Let's look at Reading quickly. Paul Gallagher.
Why?
Of Preston. He is the one there for 10 in a row.
Good lad.
He's been there for 4 years. I wonder who was there before him. It was George Honeyman, who won 1 league with them.
There's
Paul
Mark Hughes.
Gallagher. There is Mark Hughes. He won 2 Scottish Premierships. Duncan Ferguson failed to win anything with them.
Paul Ince.
Paul Ince, yep, 4 years. And then just so who won the titles with them then? So you've got Mark Hughes won 2.
Paul Gallagher, isn't it? Pretty much.
Emery, Belzoglu, and Paul Gallagher, yeah. So Reading, yeah. I mean, look at that. They've absolutely dominated. Leeds, who were second and have also won titles. What have they been up to? Second and third repeatedly. A bit of a decline last year. And so, yeah, we've got how many there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 12 English teams still there. 4 not in the Premiership. So in the Championship, Queens aren't there.
Yikes.
Back in League One where we started, Hartlepool, MK Dons, and Rochdale are there. So are we still missing 1?
Yeah. Don't know
who
who
it is.
Can't mind.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're still missing 1. I can't find them, weirdly.
Do they not League 2?
That's because it's the start of the season, sorry.
Yeah, Queen's bottom at the start of the season. Let's have a quick look at Queen's. Max Johnston as manager. You're having a giraffe.
In his father's footsteps.
Played at Queen's as well. There you go. Nothing changed. No new legends. Marvin Bartley now an icon. Ian Murray now an favoured personnel. And that's the only change. And John T. Resky. This man who's made 122 appearances for Queens.
Cool.
Were not full-time. Part-time. Manager-wise, too many to count. Max Johnston, Ian Murray for 3 years. Russell Martin. Graham Alexander for 4 years. So exciting times for Queens. But back in League One where we started. Where are they? Who is it? Morecambe.
Jeez, League 2.
Absolutely terrible time. They're in League 2 and are now semi-pro with Lewis Morgan as manager.
Easy peeps.
They've just not done very well, have they?
Ian McCall, sorry.
There we go. They've not done very well. They were just relegated last year, so they might go back up. But yeah, not good for Morecambe. They're not even predicted to win the league. They're predicted to come second. Very poor for Morecambe. It's good to see. So what do we think, boys? Did Scottish football compete?
Not really.
Not really.
Not as much as we would have hoped, I think.
I think that's about right. I think even considering the imbalance in cash. 20 years is long enough to get some of that cash reserves and do
Yeah.
something with it.
So Motherwell being our most, what's the word I'm looking for? Victorious at all, I
Best.
would say. Yeah.
Celtic,
Celtic probably the most
steady,
consistent.
steady eddies.
Yeah.
Celtic most consistent. Motherwell more recently. I wanted to check one more thing. I've stopped sharing, but I will tell you that Queens still play at Hammerston Park.
Oh, I did check. But yeah, this has been a good one. So thank you very much, Greg, for all your hard work again. I hope
Well
you've
done.
enjoyed it because we had good reviews on the first one.
If you like this one again, tell us how you think Scottish football measured up in the comments. Anything you want to know, put it in the comments. I'll dig it out in the game and tell you. If you want to see more of these, give us some ideas.
Yes.
Kyle has an idea of a couple, but we might see what other football manager things we can do. We might get a fantasy draft on the go and see how that goes between us.
That would be quite good. So yeah, but any ideas, please give us a shout because that would be most appreciated. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.
Godspeed.